Hi, good morning. So for today, we're going to discuss about rational function. So first, we're going to define what's a rational function. Of course, dapat alam natin kung ano yung definition ng rational function. And second, we're going to represent real-life situation using rational function. Third, we're going to distinguish about rational function, inequality, and equation. Also, we're going to solve rational equation and inequality. Then we're going to represent a rational function through its graph, table of values, and of course its equation. We have here find the domain and range of a rational function. Then we're going to determine the intercepts, zeros, and asymptotes of rational function. Also, we're going to solve problems involving our rational function, equation, and inequalities. We have here our definition of a rational function. A rational function is in the form of y is equals to f of x is equals to p of x over q of x, where our p of x and q of x are polynomial functions and q of x is not equal to 0. Take note that if our q of x is equals to 0, then it will make our function undefined. So we have here examples of a rational function. This is an example of a rational function in a function form. And we have here another example of a rational function in a function form. And of course, a rational function represented by a graph. So our rational function can be represented by a function. We have the table of values, and also we have our graph. Okay, so we have here a rational equation. So what is rational equation? So if p of x over q of x is equated to 0, then p of x over q of x is equal to 0 is called the rational equation. Okay, if you have the equal sign here, equal sign, we have here the function equals to 0, then that means you have a rational equation. Okay, so we have here the rational inequality. If the equation symbol equal is replaced with less than or equal, greater than or equal, less than or greater than, then our p of x over q of x is greater than 0, p of x over q of x less than 0, p of x over q of x greater than or equal to 0, and p of x over q of x less than or equal to 0 are called our rational inequality. So if we have our inequality symbols, then that is usually our rational inequality. Okay, then we have next. So we have here our rational function. So if we have here our function form, that is f of x is equals to 2x over x plus 3, that is a rational function. If we have a rational equation, so we have here x plus 3 over x minus 2 is equal to 0. So we have here equal to 0. And we have here our rational equality. So we have x plus 2 over 3x minus 2 is greater than 0. So that's how we distinguish our rational equation, function, and inequality. So we're just going to look at the symbols used or the notation used. Okay, how are we going to solve rational equations? So in solving rational equations, first, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the least common denominator or the LCD. Then second, we're going to solve for the value of our x. Okay, example number 1, we have here, solve for the solution of 1 over 2x minus 3 is equal to 3 over 4x plus 2. So first step, we're going to cross multiply. So we have here 1 times 4x plus 2, that will be equal to 4x plus 2 is equal to 3 times 2x minus 3. Okay, after that, we're going to distribute. So distribute our 3. So we're going to distribute 3. So we have 3 times 2x, that is equal to 6x. And 3 times negative 3, that is equal to negative 9. After that, we're going to combine like terms. So we're going to transpose positive x to the left side. So we have 4x minus 6x is equal to negative 9 copy. Then we're going to transpose positive 2 to the right side, and that will be negative 9 minus 2. So 4x minus 6x, that is negative 2x. is equal to negative 9 minus 2, that is equal to negative 11. So we're going to divide both sides or the whole equation by negative 2. So our answer or the value of our x or our solution is x is equal to 11 over 2. Okay, so let us check if our solution x is equals to 11 over 2 is correct. So we're going to substitute our given value, or I mean given solution, to the whole equation. So we have here 1 over 2 times 11 over 2, since that is 2x, minus 3 is equals to 3 over 4 times 11 over 2 plus 2. So we have here, take note that 11 over 2, that is 2 times 11 over 2, cancel out natin yung 2. Then dito naman sa 4 times 11 over 2, so cancel out natin, matira na lang natin is we have 2. So after that, so we have, copy natin yung 1 numerator, then we have copy yung 11 minus 3, then copy yung 3 sa right side ng numerator, and 2 times 11, that is 22 plus 2. Okay, copy yung 1 sa numerator, then we have 11 minus 3, that is equal to 8, then equal to 3, copy, then 22 plus 2, that is 24. Okay, so we have here 1 over 8. Simplify natin yung 3 over 24. That is equal to 1 over 8. Therefore, that means our solution is true since this is equal. So if equal itong dalawang to, then that means our solution is true. Okay, example number 2, we have solve for the solution of 2 over x minus 1 is equal to 1 over x plus 3. So, first step, we're going to cross multiply. So, cross multiply natin. We have here cross multiply. So, we have 1 times x minus 1, that is x minus 1. Then, we have 2 times x plus 3. After that, we're going to distribute. So, distribute natin 2 times x, we have 2x. And we have 2 times 3, we have positive 6. Then, just copy the left side of the equation. After that, we're going to transpose or combine like terms. So, lahat ng may x, transfer natin dito sa left side. And lahat ng walang x dito sa right side. Or lahat ng constant dito sa right side. So, we have here, transpose natin yung 2. So, we have x minus 2x. So, transpose natin dyan sa kabila. So, we have x minus 2x. Then, yung 1, transpose natin dito sa kabila. So, copy yung positive 6, then negative 1 transpose, that will be positive 1. So, we have x minus 2x, that is equal to negative x. Then, 6 plus 1, that is equal to 7. Then, we're going to divide the whole expression by negative 1 since we have negative sign here. So, the value of our x is negative 7. So, that is the solution of our equation. But, check muna natin if tama yung solution natin. Okay, checking, we have here, okay, so we have here, substitute the value of x to the equation. So let our x be equal to negative 7. So 2 over negative 7 minus 1 is equal to 1 over negative 7 plus 3. So copy yung numerator na 2, then we have negative 7 minus 1, that is equal to negative 8. Then we have negative 7 plus 3, that is equal to negative 4. So, copy natin, simplify natin yung 2 over negative 8, that will be equal to negative 1/4 is equal to negative 1/4. Therefore, tama yung solution natin since these are equal. Okay, so we're done with the rational equation. Now, proceed naman tayo on how to solve rational inequality. So, we have here, in solving rational inequalities, first we're going to simplify the equation, of course. Then, find the least common denominator and solve for the critical number. So, critical numbers yung tawag dito since that is the inequality. So, take note or always remember or bear in mind the inequality rules. So, kindly recall the rules about inequality so we will not have difficulties. Example number 1, we have here, solve the solution of the inequality x over 3x minus 6 is greater than or equal to 2 over x minus 2. So, what are we going to do first? First, we're going to simplify. That's the first rule or first step if we're going to solve inequalities. So how to simplify? First, we're going to transpose the equation on the right side to the left side so that we can have x over 3x minus 6 minus 2 over x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0. Then after that, we're going to get the common denominator. So the common denominator is 3x minus 6 times x minus 2. So we have here, we're going to multiply or like get the numerator. So we have x times x minus 2 minus, put it in the bracket or we have a parenthesis. So that will be 2 times 3x minus 6 since we have a subtraction sign. After that, we're going to distribute. So distribute natin. So we have x times x. So we have x times x. We have x squared. So x times 2, we have negative 2x. Then we have 2 times 3x, that is we have 6x. Then we have 2 times negative 6, that is negative 12. After that, we're going to distribute the negative sign. So we have copy yung x squared minus 2x. Then we have distribute negative sign. Negative times positive 6x, that is negative 6x. Then we have negative times negative 12, we have positive 12. Then copy our denominator greater than or equal to 0. After that, we're going to combine like terms. So, combine like terms natin. So, we have x squared, copy yung x squared, negative 2x. So, ito yung negative 2x minus 6x, that is equal to negative 8x, plus copy yung 12. So, copy yung denominator. So, since this is a product of two binomial, so we can, we have here, divide this into two binomial, or we can distribute this into two binomial. So we have x minus 6 times the quantity of x minus 2 over 3x minus 6 over x times x minus 2. So we have here, since we have a common, so cancel out natin itong common. So we have x minus 6 over 3x minus 6. That will be our final inequality. So now we can now solve for our x. So first we're going to solve for the 0 of our numerator, that is x minus 6, that will be equal to 0. So our x, we have x is equal to 6. And after that, we have 3x minus 6, that is the 0 for our denominator. So we have 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. So, transpose natin yung 6 sa right side. So, we have 3x equals to 6. Divide the whole expression by 3. So, we have 6 divided by 3, that is equal to 2. So, this will be our critical number. So, we have here our critical numbers 6 and 2. Thus, the solution is from negative infinity to 2, union 2 to 6, open, close interval. So let us check if this is correct. So we have here checking. Or we can have here another way. So another way to solve this one is we're going to equate this into equation. So let us assume that this is an equation. Then we're going to do the same process. So the same lang yung process niya. So that's the same thing to do. But we just use equal sign. Okay, so we're going to check the value of x, or checking natin, substitute the value of x to the inequality. So let x be equal to 6. So we have here 6 over 3 times 6 minus 6 is greater than or equal to 2 over 6 minus 2. So we have copy yung 6 in numerator. 3 times 6, that is 18, minus 6 is greater than or equal to 2 over 4. So, check natin. 6, copy yung numerator. 18 minus 6, that is equal to 12. Greater than or equal. 2/4, simplify natin, that is equal to 1/2. So, simplify natin yung 6 over 12, that is equal to 1/2. So, since 1/2 is greater than or equal to 1/2, then that means this is true, or tama yung solution natin. So, that is true. Okay. So, tama yung solution natin, or yung solution natin sa ating inequality. Okay, lastly, we have example number 2. Solve the solution of the inequality 3x minus 15 over x is greater than 5 minus x. Take note that this is a linear function and this is a rational function. Okay, again, first step natin is we're going to simplify. So, combine like terms muna tayo or transpose natin yung nasa right side to the left side. Okay, take note here, diba greater than tayo dito. So, dito naman, we can have here less than or equal since this is one of the inequality rule na if may linear tayo dito and if we're going to transpose, there's a chance na mas maliit na siya sa 0 since nag-subtract tayo. So, we have here, so this will be our new equation or new inequality. So, we have here 3x minus 15 over x minus 5 since positive 5 transpose natin it will be negative 5. Then, negative x transpose natin magiging positive x less than or equal to 0. So, we have here 3x minus 15, get the common denominator. So, x times negative 5, that is negative 5x, plus x times x, that is x squared, less than or equal to 0. So, after that, combine like terms tayo or arrange natin. So, we have x squared yung unang isulat. Then, we have 3x minus 5x, that is negative 2x. And we have, copy natin yung negative 15. That will be over x is, we have less than or equal to 0. And after that, we're going to divide this into binomial. So this is product of two binomials. We have x minus 5 times the quantity of x plus 3 all over x. Now we can solve for the zeros or the value of x. So we have here our denominator. X is equal to 0. So we're just going to equate this to 0. Then we have our numerator. First numerator, we have x minus 5 is equal to 0. That will be x is equal to 5. Since negative 5 transpose natin, that will be positive 5. And we have x plus 3 is equal to 0. So if we're going to transpose positive 3, magiging negative 3. So we have here our zeros. X is equals to 0, x is equals to 5, and x is equals to negative 3. So let us check. So this is how we check this one. So take note, we have the values. What are those values? We have 0, we have our negative 3, and we have 5. So check natin. So since hindi pwede yung 0, so ito yung 0, hindi siya pwede. Hindi siya pwede kasi magiging undefined yung whole equation, yung inequality. So, it will not exist if 0 yung value ng x natin. So, bawal yung 0. So, check natin if negative 1. So, check natin kasi 0 lang yung kasali, di ba? 0 and negative 3. Bawal yung negative 3. So, check natin if 0, that is negative 1. So, if we're going to substitute, so, negative 1 minus 5 times the quantity of negative 1 plus 3 all over negative 1, that will be negative 1 times negative 5, that is, negative 1 minus 5, that is negative 6. Then negative 1 plus 3, that will be negative 2, all over negative 1. So take note that negative 12 over negative 1, that is equal to 12. That is not less than or equal to 0 since that is greater than. So dapat greater than yan. So since this is false, that means hindi kasali x din ito, x. Okay, try natin, what if negative 2? So, let's try to use calculator na lang. So, we have here, we're just going to substitute kindly. So, kayo na rin magawa sa inyong calculator, ha? Or kayo na lang magsulat. So, we have negative 2 minus 5 times negative 2 plus 3 all over negative 2. Okay. So, yung magiging sagot niya, ito yung magiging sagot niya. That is our value, that is 7 over 2. So that means bawal din yung negative 2. Lalo na yung negative 3. So bawal yung negative 2. So hindi pwede yung negative 2. X tayo. Then yung negative 3, bawal din. So, but check muna natin. Check pa rin natin. So negative 3. Then we have negative 3 over negative 3. Okay. That is equal to 0. Okay. So that is equal to 0. Pwede ba siya? Pwede ba siya? Less than or equal to 0? Okay. Pwede lang yung negative 3. Okay, check natin yung negative 3. Okay, check yung negative 3. Okay, pwede yung negative 3. So, pwede yung negative 3. This will be close. It will be a bracket, ha? I mean, that is close interval. Okay. Change natin yan. Okay, that is close interval. Then, so, since pwede yung negative 3, that means lahat ng negative values pwede rin. So, we have here, so, kindly just don't mind this one. So, don't mind na lang ito, ha. Wala yan. Okay. Do not mind that one. Okay. Tapos na tayo dito sa left side. So, from 0 to negative 3. Okay na tayo. Then, let's try from 0 to positive values. So, we have here, since bawal yung 0, so, try natin yung 1, positive 1. So, we have here for 1, that is x equals to 1. 1 minus 5 times 1 plus 3 all over 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 times 4. That is negative 16 over 1. So, negative 16 is less than or equal to 0. That means that is true. So, tama yung 1 natin. So, if tama yung 1 natin, so try natin yung 2. So, 2 minus 5. So, 2 minus 5 times 2 plus 3 all over 1. So, that is C. So, that is negative 15. That means tama din yung 4, 2 natin. So, tama din yung 2. So, since yung 5 natin is until 5 yung solution natin. So, check natin yan. Okay. Try natin i-check kung itong sa 6. So, tingnan natin. 6 minus 5 times 6 plus 3 over 6. That is 1 times 9 over 6. So, 3 halves is greater than 0. And that does not satisfy the whole inequality. That means that is false. So, bawal yung negative 6 natin. So, that means our solution will be negative infinity. Then, we have negative 3. We have here, that is our, since kasali yung negative 3. Then, union natin. Union, since bawal yung negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Pwede yung 0, hindi, pwede yung 0. So, since bawal yung 0, union. Okay, lagay natin dito, 0. That means pag open interval tayo, hindi siya kasali. Until 5 lang. So, 5. So, we have 5. Okay. So, yan yung solution natin sa inequality. Okay. If you have question, kindly do not hesitate to message me sa Schoology or sa Facebook or sa Messenger. Again, so that's how we do solve for our inequalities and equation or finding the solution. Okay. So, hope you understand. You can check your book for more examples or you can browse the internet. Since you have a lot of resources, you can always access the internet if you want. Okay, so bye-bye!